Are you ready to find out how to make sure that you're attending every meeting prepped and ready and making sure that you don't have to send any follow-ups afterwards? This is my complete workflow from beginning to end of how I'm able to attend meetings and make sure that it actually is productive, essentially just using a mix of Claude Cowork, Zoom, my own Gmail, and Notion. Now, in the last couple of videos I've been doing, I have been diving through the different types of agents that I've created. I have one that preps me in the morning. I have one that logs all of my meetings with every single person that I've met with on that day at the end of the day, all without prompting, all basically just runs on its own on a scheduled time using Claude Cowork. Now, right now, you're probably hopping onto meetings, not really remembering what was the last thing that you guys talked about, scouring through emails, scouring through transcription notes, whatever that looks like for you, and trying to figure out like, why is this meeting still even a thing? Or worse, after that meeting, you forget to follow up or you forget the things that you committed to. Now, the whole goal is for you to just be able to show up ready and knowing that follow-ups will be sent out, whether it was you who just prompted your AI to do it or not. Now, to get this started, basically have the Claude account that I don't even have on the paid plan just yet. This is just a free plan, just to show you guys how to be able to do it. I also have a Notion that's blank, that doesn't really have anything else, and I'll show you guys essentially the databases that I had it create. So then it had context basically on this person, and then I'll show you guys essentially how to be able to, again, prep for every single meeting the same way. So first thing is, you do need your own kind of personal CRM. Now, if you're using Notion, if you're using HubSpot or anywhere else, you can use that same thing. But if you don't have one yet, just have Claude go in and create it for you. So just go to Customize, go into your connectors, and basically go ahead and find Notion in here, right there, number 6. And then I'll just go ahead and connect basically my Notion workspace. So I'm basically making sure that it's the one that I am using for these demos for you guys. So this is the Scale You workspace, named from my book and my podcast. And here, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and create a sample personal CRM, and in Notion, it should have the basics plus should be transcriptions. So I'm having it create 2 databases instead. So it should have the personal CRM in Notion and then meeting transcriptions database. So it should have the basics, plus inside the CRM should be the transcriptions filtered to a person. Create 3 profiles of people as a sample and 1 meeting each basically. Now, what they'll do is it'll go ahead and create that database inside of Notion if you don't already have one yet. Now, if you do already have one, you can skip this altogether, but I do recommend having 2 different databases. That way you have one that's just for all the contacts, so it's easy for you to add new contacts, and one just for your transcriptions. Now, inside of my actual Notion page, this is already separated out. I have one and the same. And essentially it makes it easier for Claude to be able to go back and forth between the 2, and also makes it easier to clean up. And I do like having it where I can filter inside of the meeting transcriptions dashboard or database who I'm talking to, who I last talked to this person when I need to. Honestly, I have not opened either of those databases ever since I set up this system for myself. Now, while this is running, the next thing that I want to make sure that you guys have set up is go back to Customize, go ahead and connect your Gmail and then your Notion. Now, because my Gmail obviously has all of my emails, I probably won't connect my Gmail during this demo, but of course it always just helps. And the other thing that you want to make sure that you do connect is going ahead and connecting your Zoom on here, which is super easy to set up as well. Just click Zoom for Claude and then connect it to your account. So yeah, there you go. I put it in Zoom. And you know what? Just for the whole purpose of this demo, I am going to go ahead and connect my Gmail. So I went ahead and edited my prompt and added essentially that one of the test entries that we'll be having is just Kevin, who is my video editor. That way you guys can see live what it does and what it can prep. And if you guys watched any of my older videos, you guys will see it's loading Leanne profile skill. And this is because I have it already prompt up to know who I am, what I do, who I work with, who are the important people around in my life that I will probably refer and talk about inside of the Claude chats. So it always has that context. So let's go going ahead and now creating the meeting transcription database with a dual relation back to the CRM. That's very important. I didn't even ask it to do that, but it already knows. And both databases created a link, now creating the 3 CRM profiles. Now what I'll do is I will do this where they're essentially in one tab. So I opened up a new tab, so you can see here that it went ahead and created the personal CRM. It did it twice because I did edit the prompt, right, as was already running. And meeting transcriptions. All right, so it just made up, and then we have the Kevin's weekly edit review on the meeting transcriptions, and then the personal CRM. I did not build any of this. I just basically had Claude do it, and then basically linked even into each one of these, so you guys can see both of those live already. And inside of each meeting transcription, basically has a transcript already inside there. So here we have the Kevin weekly edit review inside of the personal CRM. Underneath Kevin, basically, it's already linked to the basically the meetings. So this is what is amazing to be able to do. So now we've connected Claude with Notion, which is basically has the information, has the notes. So I'm going to go ahead and ask it to go ahead and grab last week's meeting with Kevin on Zoom and update the transcription. I've chosen Kevin, we'll see, because he's probably the one with the least spillable information. Mostly because our check-ins are usually just like, hey, I'm recording this, I'm doing this. So it's now asking for, of course, the information inside of Zoom. And then the next thing when you ask it, I'm not going to send it while it's running, but basically grab the last, asking me to authenticate. Okay, so it's grabbing basically my meetings. I don't know why it says March 23, but I guess that's the as far back that it can go. Now in a new chat, I wanted to make sure to grab in any and all information about Kevin. So grab more context about Kevin in Gmail to fill out his CRM info in Notion. No sensitive information should be in Notion. And also grab last week's Zoom transcription as another entry. Add redacted to any client info that shouldn't be there. So I'm just hitting enter on that to send that off. Okay, so it's already grabbed his information. Saw that Kevin CRM page, new meeting transcription, basically already grabbed that info. Record Leanne. Thursday video right after this meeting, blah, 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 transcript. Want me to write both, tweak anything first, I'll just say update into the databases. So there, you just saw it grab information from both Zoom and Gmail to get context about a person. And you can do that for every single person that's going to be added to your CRM. So essentially, this whole video is actually not just how to prep for meetings, but essentially how to create essentially an effective CRM from who is actually inside of your contact list inside of your Gmail. Now, the only thing or drawback is that at least for now, Claude can only really connect to one Gmail at a time, unless you use Zapier as a connection, and then you can kind of probably connect it to multiple Gmails. But just straight up MCP connector, you can only really do this with one account each time. So then it goes ahead and do that, and you can run it, and then you can even have it run where all of the Zoom transcriptions you've ever had with a person, as long as it still lives inside of Zoom, you can have it grab it. And if you have your own virtual assistant and you have recordings of other transcriptions you've had, you can also just have your assistant drop all of that into the CRM. So you went ahead and already did that. So now, let's say you have a meeting with Kevin coming up. There's a few things that you can go ahead and set up. Now here, I am going to be switching to my actual paid Claude, mostly because we do need to use Cowork for this one. So I'm switching this to Cowork, and you guys will see that there's already a few things that are scheduled out as tasks, or basically my mini agents that already knows what it's supposed to be doing. Now, the first one is I have an Albus morning brief. Yes, I've named all of them from Hogwarts professors. Albus morning brief basically goes through all of my meetings for the day. It's connected to my Google Calendar and essentially gives me a brief of what to expect for the day. So you'll see here, it has my calendar, basically, what are my meetings up for the day. And you can see here that it hyperlinks to Notion Contact. Because this is already something that's been running for a lot of the time, that means that when I click this, it'll open up for Tom Tate, who's my co-founder, all of his meetings, all of his context. So then I don't even have to question who this person is. And then for, of course, Honey, I don't really need a lot of context for her because I talk to her every single day. But here you can see REA meeting or REA meeting and then Notion Contact. And I click that and it goes right straight into what was our last brief. But if I needed more information, I could just also go ahead and ask it like, hey, can you give me more context about this person? What was the last thing that we talked about? Now, if you do want the whole walkthrough of how I've set up essentially my Albus, I did that already in a previous video, but I basically have it set up where it looks at my calendar, looks at my CRM, looks at who I'm supposed to be meeting, and gives me the link to their CRM. But if I didn't want to do all of that, I could also just go ahead and ask chat about this person and give me my updated version. So instead of me having to stalk through my Gmail, stalk through anything else, I basically have the information about this person right off the get-go. So I just wanted to show you guys how to set up on Claude Cowork where you have the morning brief. And again, I've set this up as a scheduled, essentially inside of my Claude Cowork, and it's basically set up as just a new task. I did ask Claude to help me write the actual prompt once I fleshed out what I wanted to do. And basically you can just go ahead and click that and you can just explain, this is what I want to do. This is what I want you to look at. These are the Notion database that I want you to grab and be able to check. Now that is essentially the before a meeting. And again, going through this. Now, if you don't have Claude Cowork yet, because you're just on the free, you can go ahead and a quick shortcut for this is creating a skill for this. Go ahead and create a skill. We will call this skill the fetcher, where essentially it will go ahead and every time that I say that I'm about to have a meeting with the person, it goes into the Notion databases for both the CRM and for the transcriptions and finds out the most latest information about this person, also going through Gmail as well for any back and forth there and any other context about this person. If the person is not yet on the CRM or in the meeting transcriptions file, is then going ahead and creating a new profile about this person. So then it's always up to date. Go ahead and we'll create the skill. And what this basically does is you've essentially created a workflow for Claude to be able to follow every single time that you are about to hop on a call with someone, every time you're about to basically go ahead and prep for a meeting. And now I've sadly hit my limit on Claude, but that's okay. But yeah, now it's gone ahead and created the skill essentially. So every single time that I ask it like, hey, can you give me context about this person? It will actually go ahead and look at those two databases and then find that information. Now, afterwards, you can also go ahead and create a post-meeting skill where basically after every single type of meeting that you have with a person, you can say like, hey, just finished my meeting with so-and-so, grab this transcription from Zoom and add it into the database. And it will basically just do that same thing. And sadly, because we did hit our limit and it says out of free messages until 6:20. It's only 1:55 p.m. as I'm recording this. We won't be able to keep moving forward. But again, if this was on my paid Claude, we basically just do the same of going ahead and creating those two skills and then asking it every single time of like, you have your morning brief already set up. It'll give you the context about this person. Before you hop in a call with a person, you can give it the context of who this person is. And then afterwards, you can ask it to go ahead and grab the actual meeting transcription for that person. So then you have the to-dos and sending them the draft of the email. So let's see this. So I'm going to go ahead and actually I'll use now the paid version. Create a skill first where you are going to go ahead and look at the personal CRM as well as the meeting transcriptions database. And essentially every time that I say I just finished the meeting with this person, you will go into Zoom. And if the transcription is already available, going ahead and updating the meeting transcription database and then linking to that person. If that person does not exist, making sure to ask me if, maybe it was just a mismatch on the person's name or if to add the person into the CRM as well. And then using the Gmail connection to go ahead and write up the draft summarizing the meeting, as well as queuing what are the tasks that I should be doing based on the transcription for my Notion tasks database. So what I'm basically doing here is I basically now created the other half of that skill. So the first half was going ahead and looking up a person right before a meeting. This is basically after going through that meeting with that person. And again, the few key things here is one is the using Gmail connection to go ahead and create the draft of the summary of the call. And then the other one is asking it to create the Notion task right on the database straight up. Now, This is again connected to that same connections that I have on my non-paid one. Again, sadly, we've hit the limit for it, but essentially it'll just do the same thing that it already did in the other one. And essentially the main thing is to make sure that you do save it as a skill. So then it runs every single time that you ask it, like, hey, I just finished the meeting with so-and-so, can you run the, skill? And you can name the skills. As you can see, I love naming my skills. For example, let's say this one is the wrap upper or whatever. That way, when you are referring the skill, it's easy for you to remember what it is, or you can use the slash and then you can see all of the skills that you have available and makes it easy for you to call up that skill whenever you are done, essentially. So here you can see, again, this is my actual call. So it grabbed my personal CRM. This is Leanne Contacts, my meeting database, and then my Leanne Tasks. So it's grabbing my actual databases right now, building this up. Now, I don't have this inside of my own Claude setup here because it is already set up as a skill or as an agent otherwise, but this is how I would create it from scratch if I wanted to recreate this with you guys live. Well, that is essentially the two prong of that attack, basically, of how to make sure that for every single meeting you are prepped and ready for it, and then how to be able to get it to the point where you can send out that draft for the wrap up to-dos, and also making sure that it gets actually added into your to-do list inside of Notion. Now, the bigger concept of why this really works is essentially you're having, instead of you again opening Gmail, Zoom, your database or your CRM, whatever that is, instead of you having to open that one by one, you basically are using Claude as the brain to bring everything else together to your attention the way that you want it to. Instead of having it be messy, maybe some of them is outdated or whatever that looks like, you basically have Claude working in between. And this is essentially for the BOSAI framework that I've been developing, which is basically BOSAI, which is blueprinting, organizing, systematizing, automating or delegating, and integrating. Part of this is really a mix of S and I, where I've created a system on how I want it every single time to prep me for a meeting and what to do post-meeting. And then I've basically made sure that that part is pretty automated because it grabs information that's already out there. I don't have to give a lot of context because the context is in probably the email, in the Zoom transcription, wherever that is. And for me as a human, I handle the relationship, I handle the judgment calls or the context for it. And if you want your own workflow similar to this, I do offer systems audits for your business. You can go ahead and book one below, or you can also sign up to my Delegator Automate workshop that I do every single month, where I walk you through the different processes that you can decide which ones to delegate or automate, which again, you can also sign up below. The one key big thing that I do want to add at the end here is the magical thing is I don't even do a lot of this, to be honest. A lot of this is my own executive assistant doing this for me. She's the one managing my CRM. She's the one managing my transcriptions. She's the one who's managing essentially the post email to send out to potential clients or my contacts. She takes care of all of that. All I get to do is to be able to show up. I'll get the briefing before I call or even during my daily sync with my own executive assistant. And if you would like an executive assistant who can do that for you, you can also book a call with me below. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit thumbs up button right there. Comment below what are the ways that you would love to have automated or delegated off of you. I would love to know. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of the videos every Thursday on how to grow your business, especially in the age of AI. And if you want to grow your career in the age of AI, you can check out my second channel right here, or you can just check out the latest video right here. Now, I hope you guys have an amazing and wonderful day. And with that, small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.